We go plural or singular there?
I'm not sure we discussed whether we were going plural or singular, but
yes,
we are now live. Hello, guys. So yeah, we want more people. Hit all the channels, get more people in here, and we may do some really cool giveaways. I mean, icons. I've got cooler shit than icons.
I'm just trying to find the pictures now. Oh, there we go. Got it.
One more. We're definitely going to need more though if we're doing giveaways.
Gotta
go big. Go big or go home.
I want to see if anyone got the naming on the new flamethrower.
I did. DJ's searching for pictures right now. Sifting through the mountains and mountains of dubious images.
I have pictures. We
don't want those pictures. We want pictures of the flamethrower.
I was just sifting through some chat I missed earlier.
Big box of Ferrero Rocher. You got the commissioner coming. What was it?
Here we go. That's it. Found it.
Ah, look at that. Not bad boy. Who wants one of those?
It has blue fire too.
The other one as well.
I didn't show that to anybody, did I?
I don't think so.
Well, see, that's the thing. We need somebody to test it in a real world environment.
Yep.
I.e., flaming bugs. And if it doesn't live up to expectations, I need to tweak it further. I'm sure a lucky person could walk away with one to try out today. I'm assuming everybody in Stream Voice is also reading Stream Chat. Yeah, I know. N11337. Hey, I didn't make up the name for that one. My name choice is going to be for the sniper rifle, which is yet to come.
Can we show the sniper rifle as well? Have you got pictures and the name for the sniper rifle?
I haven't got pictures, but we know what the name is.
A few more creeping in.
It's just so you know, the plans for change for the fabricated sniper rifle is going to get an upgrade, so that it'll fire shocking trank darts.
Hey, Nuka.
So a fab sniper rifle with tranking abilities. I think everybody will like that. The STD-69 fabricated sniper rifle.
Enough. Well, let's get cracking then, and then we will see if we get enough people online to justify. Or maybe we won't get cracking. Fred, are you going to interrupt? Right then, hopefully that's sorted. Let's crack on then. So, welcome to Roundtable 87, where you can catch up with the WNG team and find out what we have planned for the coming weeks and a quick recap on what's been happening in the world of WNG. We're going to be going over some Q&A after and probably throughout because we get distracted. If you can, please follow us on YouTube and socials if you've not already. It brings us a huge amount of attention and helps us to create the kind of reach we have and to be able to bring you guys the things that you want, need, and all of that sort of stuff. Links for all of these can be found in the Review section. And maintenance will be at 9 AM tomorrow morning, as usual, UK time. So, as we do every single week, I can't wait to hear is the server down in the morning? And the alarm is set. Let's get on with things. General news this week, I haven't got a heck of a lot, to be fair. It's been busy week yet. I suppose kind of a quiet week where we've just kind of ploughed on with stuff. So let's get on with games. I'm going to leave Octal last this week because obviously we've got giveaways and it's going to take huge amounts of attention. So I'm going to crack on with Rust first. So for all the guys who've been playing Rust, we have some changes coming, and we've had some changes that have been done. So let's go over those. Resource stacks. So wood, stone, cloth, etc. all changed to 10,000 across the board, which is a nice quality of life thing for people with cupboard problems, as I think everybody is having cupboard problems. Component stack sizes have been changed to 100 across the board, with a select few having slightly increased limits. And we've got increased stack sizes of a select few quality of life items, such as doors, furnaces, that sort of stuff, to 3. We've made some changes to that pesky attack helicopter. It's had its NPC companions removed. However, it can now rocket your base to shreds. So be very careful with the attack helicopter. That's the first icon on the HUD, I believe. And when you see that active, if it finds you with a weapon in your hands or on your hotbar, that's important, or armor on, this doesn't include clothes, this includes his armor, it will attack and it will then start to rocket. If you happen to be near your base, it will rocket your base to bits, so be careful. We've had some feedback about the furnace button being generally in the wrong place and not matching colours. So the furnace button stopping when empty is now recolored to match Rust colours and is now placed way better, so it won't interrupt your stack size splitting, which I think is cool. We have fixed the high quality metal and sulfur mines, not the big excavator, the 2 little ones. So we fixed the config to bring them back in line with our 2x rates. These were way too efficient. We had no clue that the config was like it was, so it brings them back in line with the giant excavator and makes them a less preferred choice. So the excavator is supposed to be the big place to get metal or sulfur or things like that, but it announces in chat when you activate it. So risk reward kind of thing. You can no longer rotate or break placed objects after a reboot, which is 6:30 AM in the UK. This is going to be changed in due course to require some sort of charge. When PvP is involved, obviously picking up, rotating and breaking things isn't kind of the same as it is when you're playing PvE, so that's all going to be fixed. We've also fixed the duplication problem with the furnaces. Very much hope none of you noticed, but there was a dupe problem with the furnaces. That's now fixed. And the biggest change I have this week is loot tables. They've been reverted back to vanilla settings. Did that today. NPCs are also defaulted to vanilla with a bot. The bot being that all our NPCs are heavy scientists, and as such will drop heavy scientist loot. This means you may see sort of some odd high-level weapons drop from NPCs in the world. In any location, you could get lucky. It's a very low drop chance. So if you do happen to get an M249 or an L96 from a random rogue PC, go you. As we're currently only allowing raiding in the last week, it's not such a big deal as it would be if we were a pure PvP server. Most people by week 4 or 5, depending on how big the month is, are going to have a reasonable amount of playtime, a reasonable amount of explosives, and are going to be tooled up anyway. So it just allows people to have some fun with the guns. We are going to be, in the meantime, fully customizing the loot table to the standards you would expect from WNG, but it's going to take some time, and I think this way is far superior because it allows certain items that weren't even the tables to be dropping until we get things fully sussed out. Thank you, Cannabis, for taking that on. Cannabis is our Rust dev. You'll see him under developers as default Rust. He had to change his name because every time we opened a voice chat, Discord got very offensive and thought we were selling drugs. So default Rust is our Rust dev, and he's taking on the loot tables. So thank you very much for that. Coming up next, more news. We're going to be changing the vote rewards. I think we've got some very good ideas for what to do with that. And the kits are going to be overhauled as well, and probably a revisit to supporter perks. So all that's coming up. Stay tuned, blah, blah, blah. And lastly, for Rust, thank you to everyone who's been involved so far, submitted feedback, and been thoroughly place testing alongside the admins and moderators. So big love, naked people. It's been amazing fun so far, and I've put in many more hours than I intended to, just because it's actually been so fun. The player base so far should be commended for their cooperation with each other and making it a fun place to play. So if you've not checked out Rust, this is not what you think of Rust. It's going to be so cool. There's just been laughs so far and general banter. It's been great, and we intend to keep it that way. So, Rust out of the way. Do we have any Rust questions before I continue? I know we have a couple in channel who are, but if you have some, think about them. We'll go over that in a minute. And then on to Conan.
I do before we move off Rust.
You do? Okay.
Yes. When's the next wipe coming up? It's the
so the next wipe is going to be on the 2nd. So that's the 2nd of Feb. And the PvP time, this is the raid time, will be starting. I think I've got that set to the 26th. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, it might be the 27th. I think it's the Friday. And you'll get a full week of basically blowing each other up until we switch maps.
From Friday the 27th onwards, things are going to get explosive. And then there'll be the wipe after that. And it'll go back to PvE mode, where everyone can then build up their awesome bases and explore some of the cool features that we have and ways of building. And my favorite is the electrical systems.
Electrical systems are pretty cool. They are. And the plumbing systems too, to be fair. It's quite involved. Just growing crop plots and things like that. You have to worry about crop genetics and how much water's in them and sprinkler systems. It's been quite cool. And many more hours have gone in than I intended, but we found some bugs, we fixed them. It's been pretty cool, I think. We've got some cool stuff coming for next month. I don't want to give too much away just yet because we're still working on it, but we're planning on theming 3 maps. So there's going to be a roll round and they will have different themes. So at the moment we're playing Last Oasis, I believe. That's much of a sort of scorched earth, deserty type approach. The next map is going to be very, very, very different. It's not going to be the same. And the 3rd map I have planned is again going to be completely different. Yeah, I know a couple of you have seen what we're planning for next, but the next map, shall we say, is going to be more apocalyptic and more city-based, and I'll leave it at that for now. I want to get them themed so that they all have a different feel, and there is a reason for changing map. So it's one thing when we rotate maps every 30, oh, look, another map, we're starting again, but I don't want that to be the case. I want them to be completely different themes, something to look forward to. Oh, this map's coming around, this has got some cool stuff, rather than just ladling everything into the same maps and rotating. I think that's going to be good going forward. But yeah, more on that next week. And then we got some Conan, just brief recap before we get onto the Ark stuff. Work is still ongoing with Conan. Bosses, economy, a review of the mod list to ensure we have the best cosmetic and building mods available to you without compromising the game or its performance. And again, thank you to Tula and Habigan for the amazing amount of effort and care they've put into all of this. They have gone as far as writing me up an awesome PDF with where everything's gone. The communication has been brilliant, so thank you again. They both know the game very well. On top of that, Tula's written some amazing game guides as well, so they're going to be available very, very soon. Apologies to Tula, I do need to still check them, and I know you've been on my case to do so, and I'll get those done. So please don't be afraid to speak up if you've got good ideas or input or cosmetic mods or anything to make the game look, totally more awesome. We have a feedback channel for that, or you can contact Chris or Tula and, spew some ideas forward. It looks like it's going in a very, very good direction. We're still picking up players. We've got Quick plugging away over on Conan. He seems to have been having a snake problem recently, but I think he's getting over that. Yeah, all good. You got any more for Conan before we carry on? We're rattling through this week.
I don't personally. I've been neglecting Conan
a little bit, yeah,
for a while, and it's just down to available playtime. I'd love to get back into it. I'd love to play it. It's just too much to do. But I've never actually finished Conan as a game. It's something I've always wanted to do.
We came close last run through, but not quite.
Yeah,
it is something I would like to revisit, and I
want to do all the bosses, and I want to do all the dungeons, and I want to get all the stuff and collect all the things.
Oh, there's way more now than you're used to. Exactly. It's going to be It's going to be fun. We've got some I Love Sipter expansion bosses on there now. We've pretty much got the loot piles in next to all the bosses now to start with the economy. And I believe the NPC is currently sitting in the library where you can spend your points to buy mysterious and wonderful items. So yeah, Conan's going really well, to be fair. Much happiness. And then we've got the big boy, Ark. Honestly, I've been scrubbing the notes for Ark, trying to figure something to put in this week. What have we got for Ark this week? It's been kind of a quiet week, hasn't it?
Well, the big thing for Ark this week is going to be the update to our mod.
Yes.
So I don't think anybody quite realizes it, but I'll run through why this is such a big thing. Sanguine elixir you get from the bats on Fjordjaw. You can use it on babies to boost the imprint rate, or you can use it on tames to help your taming progress and accelerate things. The only problem was it puts a buff on your tame that says when it's been used. And when you soul trap it, the buff is removed. And when it's released again, that buff is gone, which means you can then use another sanguine elixir, which means then you can choose several mechanics in the game. So it's up until now, it's been blocked from use. So typically the mod author of Dino Storage would have had to have updated his mods to remember the buff when you trap something and then reapply it when you release it. But I'm not sure what's going on with his schedule at the moment, but he hasn't updated Dino Storage for what I would consider a very long time compared to the rate at which he used to. So we've spent several weeks coding a solution into our own mod that does the same thing. And it's a bit tricky because it's interacting with the base game. It's interacting with Dino Storage, and it's having to remember all the dinos that have had it applied and then make sure it gets reapplied when they come back out into the world. Finally done that. I've got to do one more test run on it tonight on the test server, but we'll release that mod update tomorrow. So that means the block on soul trapping dinos that have had sanguine elixir used on them will go away. So you can start using it again. The other thing that's coming in the mod as well is the new flamethrower, which you all saw a little picture of in the chat earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It has blue flames. It's awesome. And another number of other enhancements which make it more useful than the standard flamethrower.
I was going to say, do you want to tell us what the enhancements are, or is the player who luckily wins it tonight going to have to be pulled back?
Well, the description hopefully says it all. It has increased damage. It has a larger magazine. It fires an extra 33% range, and it loses durability a lot slower. So all in all, a massive improvement. The custom weapons that we're building will be rewards in our raidable bases, and they will also be given out as prizes to people at events and things like that. Blueprints and availability of them. What I'm thinking with the blueprints for these enhanced weapons, when we decide where and how they're going to be obtainable, is they will be limited craft. So you'll only be able to, they'll be like tech blueprints. You can only craft like 5 of them or something. That is solely to maintain the value of these high-end weapons. We don't want somebody getting a blueprint, churning out 100 of them, and then suddenly the whole cluster's got them with little to no effort at all. It's not something we're planning on allowing. They need to be exclusive and unique and powerful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, utterly. Anything else?
We've got a tweak going into our vote reward system tomorrow as well. Should make it even more robust and actually provide some more rewards. When I say that, there's a little bug in the system at the moment which curtails some of your item rewards. That should be going away.
Nice. I was going to mention as well, who's been seeing the Arc 1.5 meme going around? Has anybody copped onto this yet? Are people fully aware what's been? Yeah. There's been some rumor going around of Arc 1 being ported over to UE5 when they get round to it. And I think that's been reposted by both Cedric and Dolly has, Jax. Yeah. So there's been some speculation that Arc 1 is going to go full UE5, which is going to be very, very, very interesting. But there may well be some Arc 1 hype left.
I have some information on this.
Okay.
Very interesting. I believe that the plan to take Arc 1 to UE5 has been long in the works. Because porting all the assets over to UE5 is quite a time-consuming process.
Yeah.
And they actually started on it. I would probably say over maybe 12 months ago, at a guess, simply because Atlas is just announced as well. They're going to UE5.
Ooh, so it probably is true.
And I don't know if you're aware, but Atlas is based off of Arc.
Yes, it is.
So most plugins and mods that run on Atlas can be ported backwards and forwards between Atlas and Arc because they operate on the same engine. So they've just announced that they're moving to UE5, and they've actually been prepping the assets for months and months and months to do that task. So I believe the Arc team have been doing the same thing in the background in parallel. And we will soon see an official announcement saying it's moving to UE5.
Wonder when we're going to see that. That'll be awesome.
Atlas is still going. It's not going strong, but it's still going. And it's going to look even better.
It may have a bit of an overhaul with UE5, but I thought about an Atlas server several times. The problem with Atlas servers are, they're very heavy. Very, very heavy on hardware. And I'm not sure the player base is there. I actually have a copy of the game. Not too bad, to be fair. But as far as popularity goes, I don't think it's there.
Did you, by the way, see our John's question to one of the guys working on Arc?
Not mentioned anything.
Posted in our staff chat.
Yeah, let me have a snoopy.
I think we should. It's breaking news. I think we should post it in the stream chat. Oh, there we go. Everyone wants to have a quick peek at that.
Maybe I got confused this morning. Was that John questioning? Was that just something he saw on the feed?
Oh, no, that's something he saw on the feed.
Yeah, but they've basically concerned. Well, have they? And they've basically confirmed that the fan-made tweet, which I'd seen earlier, and was speculating maybe they were just hyping up Arc 2, isn't what they were referring to. And if Atlas has announced it, it certainly looks like it's coming. So what we learned from this is soon/soonish/soon TM. That's good news, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. It means it's got a lot of longevity still in it.
Yes, there was another YouTube video I caught the other day where they were saying there'll be a new creature, and there have been underground hints at a new map. So we will see.
There's definitely a new creature coming.
Yeah, that's
They've
confirmed.
Started voting for it. Yeah.
But they also mentioned there's been votes. Well, there's been rumors going around of maybe a new map because Arc 2 has been rumoredly pushed back a little bit. So yeah, interesting news. We'll see.
we do have some other bits and pieces for Arc as well today.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you are aware, but there's 2 suggestions that I posted in the suggestions channel, and now would be a very good time to look at them and share your thoughts on them. One of them is the removal of the Tech Reaper mod, and the other one is the removal of the Emotes mod. We're taking votes and thoughts on that. And the reason being is I would like to put in another mod, which we need to test first. And it's something that was brought to my attention from the docs community. It's a mod that lets you remotely loot things you have killed. So you go into a boss arena and the manticore dies up in the air and you only have ground tames. You can't get to the bag. The bag's inside the boss's body and the boss is floating 100 feet off the ground. You hold down a button on your keyboard and all its loot is hoovered to your inventory, regardless of whether it was on the boss, on a bag, or whatever.
Very cool.
This would work for loot anywhere else. So anything you kill. So say you're doing your OSDs on Extinction and you want to collect the Wyvern claws, but we all know that the corrupted dinos on Extinction disappear very quickly. So getting off your mount, getting to the corpse, harvesting it, or picking up its loot and getting back on in the middle of a fight is a real pain in the what's it. So how about you just hold down a button and all the loot around you is hoovered into your inventory? That's the new mod that I'd like to put in.
There is, Delaney, yes. Any reason why you ask? Ooh. That's freaking cool.
Yes, exactly. No more angry players making tickets. I didn't get my loot. Well, you didn't get your loot because you didn't go and find the bag that was buried under the boss's corpse that was so small you couldn't see it, and you couldn't harvest the corpse because the corpse won't disappear, and then you thought you didn't get your loot, but it was actually there. I do have to test it though, despite having people telling me, don't worry, it works. There are several issues reported on the mods page, which I need to make sure are not issues before we deploy it. One of the issues was if you soul trap your dino and it leaves a bag on the floor, picking up that bag using the new mod would empty the bag but not actually give you the contents of it, which is quite serious. So I need to test that. And there were some other bits and pieces I needed to test, having trawled through all the comments and notes on the mod in question. I'm very tempted to let the docs players test it first because they're the ones that asked for it. But I think I can probably finish testing it tonight and be ready to deploy that tomorrow. But I do really want to get rid of some of the mods that really don't add much value to the cluster at all. Hence the votes and suggestions on removing the Tech Reaper and the emotes and any other mods that we kind of find out or figure out people aren't really using.
I will point out at this point as well, as we're nearing the end, that you can only influence stuff like that if you actually do submit your vote. So this sort of thing, I know I was asked earlier on, like, what is the Roundtable? This is the place where we discuss things like that and get player feedback, and there's no good moaning about it afterwards. If you want to influence something, you do have to go and vote. It's there for everybody. So if you have input and suggestions on any of the feedback, then go to it and say so.
Right now, both those mods are almost guaranteed to disappear within a very short space of time, given the way the voting is going and my personal opinions on them.
Yeah.
And in their place, I'd rather put in stuff that adds more value to the cluster and makes people's lives better.
That's a good question, Josh as well. And you can rewatch the entire episode on YouTube if you so want to. But yeah, it's all good then.
Other stuff that's happening in the background is my ongoing work to rebuild the cave loot tables for Ark, with the reintroduction of saddle blueprints, tiered as they are now, small, medium, large, and platform, dropping from different coloured cave crates, with a chance of them being blueprints as well. We do have another suggestion in there, which, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been totally poo-pooed. In fact, it seems quite popular, and that is making the enraged shiny dinos more enraged. Just because we need more stuff on the maps that provide a bit of challenge for people. I think this is a Sandy suggestion, wasn't it? Increase the experience and increase the level of the enraged shiny dinos. I
kind of like this one.
I did too. Encourages people to build a bit more defensively, actually protect their base. It's got pretty heavy support, and let me have a look. Currently enraged shiny dinos match the level range of shinies, which is 150 to 180. So the proposed multiplier is ×2 for enraged, which would spawn at 300 to 360, similar to our fixed alpha spawns. You'd know where they are because you've got the trackers. They would be announced when they spawn, so it wouldn't be a surprise where they were. I just think it would add something a bit more challenging into the cluster to give people the opportunity to kill. Or again, all of this is in suggestions.
Yep. Yeah, those would be in the suggestions channel. Josh, we were talking about the Tech Reaper, and we were talking about the emotes mod.
And the emotes mods enables you to activate sets of emotes using your number pad, and add some additional emotes to the game. But to be frank, there's a ton of emotes in the game anyway. You can activate those all from your radial menu, and overriding your number pad is kind of cool, but it can lead to some tricky situations where you're trying to manage your tame groups in a fight and suddenly you realize you've got your remote switched on. It's a bit of a clunky system. So please get voting. Just react. Let us know. What else have we got coming up? Nothing of import to mention, I don't think. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Big mod update. Some more weapons being added for the raidable bases. A couple of mods will be departing. New mod in testing to be added. And yeah, and tweaks to the enraged shiny dinos, which has been sitting there for ages and we just haven't made it. Oh, plus improved vote rewards further than what they are. Do you know what? I don't think I've seen many comments about vote rewards being not working properly since we updated. Not that I'm asking for it, I'm just saying the new system seems to be a lot more robust.
Scanning through channels for things we might have missed. I do say things. We're very, very busy during the days. I believe it was Marax that asked earlier on, can somebody under level 100 go into the events arena and fight the bosses?
Yeah. Up to 70. 70 and above.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, Nika, because 20 minutes ago somebody voted on Trekkie server and got their rewards. So I can only assume that's down to them, down to Trekkie. But the update coming in tomorrow should help improve that even more. All I can suggest is wait a few minutes and try a claim again. They'll also, I think there's a command as well, which I think is /check. If you do that in game, that'll tell you how many times you voted in the last 24 hours on each site and how many you've got like outstanding and stuff. Pretty sure it's /check.
Furiously typing. Shall we cure a giveaway or two then?
Indeed, we shall.
How many of these things and what are we giving away? So obviously a flamethrower.
Oh yes, we've got to give away a flamethrower. But it be possible to change the event server access from cooldown 24 hours to something more in line with our daily quests? No, unfortunately not. Would be cool if you could, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Chat icons. You don't know. Haven't you noticed some people in game have custom chat icons, which they've picked themselves?
I don't think that's currently what they're after.
I don't know.
Maybe they're just unfamiliar with the chat
there
icons.
we go.
I don't know.
Delana's new updated one.
Hey, look how cool that looks. That looks amazing.
I feel like, obviously, it's up to you. If you pick a duff one, then you're stuck with it.
These things are supposed to be rare. No, we don't want to compromise the rareness of these chat icons, do we? Stop posting pictures of Fred. That's terrible. It's his bad side. Fred. What happens when the postman comes? Looks exactly like that. Oh, I know, quick. You've not seen the postman Fred. Fred needs a chat icon.
See.
That is awesome. I love that.
See now, if we had somebody that was good with 3D modeling, we could actually put that into the game. They could build the skeleton and the mesh for it, and that'd be cool.
We need those high quality, really cool ninja pictures in sort of some sort of channel somewhere for media. That's really cool. Cool. Let's get some competition-y type voting type thing going on then. The fascination with turtles now. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work. It needs to be like 256 by 256, ideally with a transparent background and something that's going to stand out quite well. stuff that works well as emojis, essentially. So I think Delana's works really well. That's nice. So see, now you've got me torn. If we do a chat icon giveaway, there's going to be like I don't know, 29 people that are going to be disappointed.
But there'll be one very excited person, surely.
Yeah, I know. And I suppose you genuinely have to want it, because as much as I like giving people chat icons in game that they can keep forever and ever and ever, they got to look good.
Ara has a point there as well. There were even more disappointed people when you gave them away the first time.
True. Okay, fine. We'll do one of those.
So one chat icon. They've got to stay rare. One chat icon.
Yeah, one.
Not rubbing that lucky coin turtle. Get the rabbit's feet out. Poke your lucky sock. Whatever it is you do. Pray to whichever deity that you pray to. Yep. We'll do that last, though. We'll do that last. Feel tension. No. Okay, we do that one first. Look at all these entries. Look. Almost like people want chat icons. Only enter if you do not have a chat icon and you really, really want one and have a good idea there. People really do want these things. Ooh. Ooh. Dissipation. Gonna win. How long did you give?
2 minutes.
That's a hell of a lot of content to fill with 2 minutes.
No, that's fine. I'm just scrolling through chat looking for a picture of the blue flames.
We'll have to get some like tension music organized for when we do giveaways. It's gonna be cool. Do.
My God, searching for my own name on Discord is just like.
Congratulations, Carol.
1,085 results.
An unhappy turtle now. Oh, he's got 2 members of his team. One day. Oh, Cody. You've upset Fred now. So who gets the flamethrower? Ooh, Elf. Congratulations.
It runs on normal flames. Oh, found the picture. Here we go. The slight caveat to it is flesh burns red. Nothing I could do about that.
So what we would do here as normal, if you have won something, so both Kara and Elf, you need to submit a ticket. If you won the flamethrower, so this for Elf, you need to submit some CCC coordinates to a Sol terminal where we can store that for you. So that'll be in your base. That real quick. So those are your instructions. So go into game, put a little Sol terminal down. It can be locked. It's completely fine. Stand by it, CCC and console, and then paste the coordinates into your ticket, and we will deliver that to you as soon as possible. And then for Kara, again, same thing, ticket, and we are going to require a 256 by 256 transparent. Yep. And then pick something cool. Do a turtle. Wander around now with both of you with chat icons. One day, turtle, one day. And Cody, you'll win one. You'll win one. There you go then. So
I do suggest, Cara, though, that you look in game and see what people have picked in the past and see which ones work really well and which ones don't. Because some of them do, some of them look really cool. Some of them are a bit like, a bit more thought, maybe.
So there you go. Unless we have any last questions or burning desires to know something.
Nope. Just a few changes coming, and keep an eye on the server updates channel. I do have to say, we get a lot of questions in general that could be answered if people just looked at the appropriate channels. Namely server updates and events, with the occasional WNG news thrown in. Oh, shall we call it an evening then?
We shall indeed. Right, we're going to wind up here. Congratulations to those who've won. As usual, we have been the Wicked Ninjas, and you have all been awesome. We'll see you next week. We're not guaranteeing chat icons next week, but we will definitely see you next week. Good night.